most of you know this already, but I have an 8-month-old son. One of the coolest cats in the world, right? Very, very awesome having a kid. But they poop. Man, do they poop. And I'm talking about some poop. Whoo, some poop. You know what I mean? That kind of poop. But I would guess, and this is just a guess, I'm gonna guess that I would rather clean 10, 15 of those diapers than what's about to be in this trailer. We'll see. You know, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, which is nice. The front. Yeah, no, you can certainly see, there's that too, but you can see that there is some dirt. If you were looking for dirt and you were like, man, I want to see some dirt, there you go. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. A lot of it shook off in the trailer, so it's a little bit of sweep action. You're gonna run a little broom, a little bit of a broom, and I think we're gonna take this thing to the car wash to give it a preliminary wash, and then I'll soak my yard, not my yard, but my driveway with dirt. El Dirte. We'll take a closer peek at the damage once we get the car out and cleaned and into the garage, so we can you know, kind of dissect everything. But as of right now, like, I mean, it's just sheet metal. Like, it's not a big deal. All that stuff can be beat out and tampered, you know, tamped on or whatever. The other thing would be, I mean, obviously the bumper got wadded down. The bumper itself is fine, which is good news. They're stupid expensive. Bumper itself is fine. The bumper mount looks like it took a shot. So yeah, but we'll get to, we're gonna get all that taken care of. That's not a huge huge deal. We obviously know the radiator is gonna have a hole in it somewhere, so we're gonna have to figure that out as well. But we're gonna get to all that. We're gonna get to all that. It's early. It's early. It's a crisp summer day. It's perfect outside. So we'll dive into it. We'll see what's going on. But we're gonna get this sucker to the car wash. Before y'all even say anything, you ain't supposed to be doing that. I hear you. I talked to the guy. He was totally cool with me doing this. So we are. So we're cleaning it here in the car wash.
Few moments later.
Car wash didn't do too bad. Like, I'm pretty pumped about that. And I'm probably going to use that service again in the future. It costs more money than it would to wash it at home, but at the same time, that's a whole lot less dirt that I got to get out of this driveway. Speaking of dirt, let me show you something really awesome. Okay, I realize that it doesn't look that bad in the camera, but it is that bad. Also, we just kind of threw stuff up here whenever we were ready to leave because we were in a hurry, and now it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And that toolbox don't close no more, and that generator won't run very long. I know this because whenever I was loading up at the car wash, my generator, or my winch battery, was dead. So I tried to charge it with my generator. My generator would run for like 30 seconds at a time, and it'd be like, nah, I need a break. You want to take a break? So that's where we're at. As far as damage I can see, once again, we already knew the bumper was bent up and banged up and all that stuff, but that's not a big deal. A lot of that that's being held is being held underneath by the valence support. I think that's what it's called. Not 100% sure. Anyways, a lot of that's being held up by that, so that's not really the problem. This one is not. That one's just bent, but it pops out. So none of that's really a big deal at all. And I've been in the market for a new bumper anyway, kinda, not really. I'm gonna try to get another couple races out of that one. Also, let me say this bumper has to be raised a ton. It's an older car. They were not made initially for that, so the bumper mounts are kind of crazy. So in that last race at Windy Hollow that I raced, we broke the front bumper mounts. I welded them up, and now you can kind of see that they're not welded anymore. So ultimately, I brought Hunt the Front Nation down thanks to my poopy welds. It's on me. I take that blame. I'll take the blame. I'll bear it. Sucks though. Guess that popped off. That weld broke at some point from vibration, And then whenever he got into the El Cushiano, it sucked that underneath the car. That's what I'm assuming happened. That's what I would assume the whole deal is with it. You know what, whatever. I'm just assuming that's what happened. As for what's about to happen right here, the normal strip is gonna happen. I'm gonna take these fenders off. I'm gonna go ahead and take this whole door off. I'm gonna take that quarter off, and we're gonna pull this nose, and I think that's all I'm gonna pull. Let's check this side just for fun. Just for fun, crispy clean. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. I mean, what are you gonna do? So I'm gonna work on that, and then we'll wash it again. We'll give it another rinsing, and then we'll pull it in the garage and take another peek at it to make sure I'm not missing something. Also, be a friend and tell me what may be wrong with this this here generator. It runs for a little bit and then quits, and then runs for a little bit and then quits, and then on and on. So yeah, just go ahead and let me know what you think's wrong with that down in the comments, and I'll investigate it. Also, let this be a note that if you leave a mess long enough in your garage, your wife will just come out and clean it for you, because she'll get tired of it. That's a life lesson, especially for, she's through things with me. I don't get to give many like equipment tips, and everyone knows that we beg, borrow, steal, whatever we gotta do to make this thing work. We'll fasten whatever this car, if it'll hold, that'll make things work. Because we just worry about putting out content and getting to the racetrack. That is the two main things. So I do want to show you something that honestly is a little janky, but it has worked better than anything else I've found. Your splitter support, I think I've called that two different things in this video already. Of course, we had the plastic one on here, and it's what dug in the heat race and for, excuse me, not the heat race, but qualifying and hot laps. And then this one right here, this is just a street sign that I cut up. And it, aside from the state that it's in right now, it's better than any of them that I've gotten my hands on. And that came from the Devager, so shout outs to them. But 10 to 1, that's the way to go. If you're looking for a good splitter support, it's gonna hold your nose up. Usually, it's pretty handy. I realize I said we beg, borrow, and steal, but we won't steal unless you count your hearts. See what I did there?
One eternity later.
There you go. That was one of like the worst cleanings ever. I don't know if I've ever had a race car that dirty in my life. Happy it's clean. It was worth it. That was long. That was incredibly long. Other than this, that's all I see that is damaged. The nose is outside. It's fine. You can see, I mean, all that pops back up, so that's no problem at all. There's some other like odd and ends, but nothing really to get upset about. But there is quite a bit of work just to do, just to get it back. Sheet metal's got to be beat out. This spoiler situation here, that's got to be figured out. The nose, not only do I have to put the nose back on, but I got to figure out how to get it higher, because I don't want to have this problem anymore. I'm tired of the nose problem, so we're gonna look like we're just soaring from here on out. I'm raising that nose as high as I can go. So let's get into the other part of the video. How did I talk Jesse into driving my car? Well, if you don't know, they were rained out, and they put a post out just looking for a ride. And I was headed that way, and I did have a car. I messaged Jesse and I told him, hey, I'm headed that way. I do have a car. He asked a few details about the car, and then he just said, hey man, you know, when we get there, I'll look at the seat and see if it's something that will work for me. And I was like, all right, dude, you know, whatever. I'm headed that way anyway, so it's not a big deal. If you don't drive it, I'll drive it. Somebody's gonna drive this car. The crazy thing is, and this is the part that people don't know, and you're gonna think I made this up, but it's 100% true. The night before, I saw that they were in the area, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be wild if they rained out up there and they decided to go to Clarksville? I thought, man, there's no way, you know, it's not like I'm gonna get to race against them because I don't have a Super, and I know they don't have a 602 for Jesse. Never in a million years did I think that he would be looking for a ride and it would all work out the way that it did. But it took I think it took a little convincing, because I don't think he really was too interested in the ride at first. I think if he was being honest, he would just tell you, like, I mean, it's an 09 Masters built. It's old. She's tired. It's a beat up car. The body's been on it for 2 seasons. The body has literally flipped over a wall. It's a tired race car. And he is someone who is used to racing in pretty nice stuff. So I don't blame him. Like, if that was his thought process, like, man, this car, yikes, dude, I don't know. I say that because I think it every time I look at it. Like, man, I wish you were a little newer and a little nicer. But I'm happy with her. She's my noble steed. Anyways, he looked over some safety things and things like that. Still pretty apprehensive about the whole thing. And I told him, you know, I've got a kid who I enjoy hanging out with. So if it wasn't a safe car, I wouldn't be getting in it. And then, as I said before, he made the comment, man, I just want to make the show. And at that time, I was like, of course, I've already said it, like, you may not make the show in that car. But I didn't know how many cars were there. There was a $5,000 to win race last year, and I think they had 16 cars. So I was like, they're taking 22. Yeah, you'll make the show. You'll make the show. He thought about it for a little while longer, and then finally was like, whatever, let's do it. Let's do it. And that was it. I do think probably after, let's see here, qualifying, he was probably like, man, no chance this thing makes the show. I have absolutely made a mistake. And I don't blame him 100% if that's what his thought process was, because I was like, in my head, I was thinking, man, I may have made a mistake, because if I put this dude in junk, he don't make the show, everybody's going to hate, everybody's going to be like, Jesse, hey, you got a bad deal, and I'm to blame. And I would have been to blame. But lo and behold, it did work out. Everything turned out fine, and you know how the story went. It's crazy too, because when I thought this situation up in my head, I was like, we're probably just going to keep the car ready. We'll see Jesse, whenever it's time to go race, no big deal. Put him in the car, send him on his way. We'll take care of all the odds and ends. But that wasn't the case at all. He hung out with us all night, talked with us, and he's just a regular dude, man. He's awesome. He's definitely someone that I would probably hang out with in the real world, and that was what was cool to me. Same with Joseph and Jonathan as well. They were just like it was, and I know it's stupid to say, oh, they're regular dudes, but I mean, so if you get that many YouTube subscribers, it would be easy to become a different person, or kind of a butthead. Or if you've ever been to the World 100, most drivers try to hide and stay away and that kind of thing, but they were awesome. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it 1,000 times more. They are everything that you imagine them to be. They're cool guys, just cool regular dudes who get to live the life. But that's it for this video. I do want to tell you about the Appreciation Program. $25 to our Venmo, get your name on the car. Every additional $25 gets you a star. We are working on a merch kind of deal thing where basically it's like an e-commerce store online where we send our design, they take care of all the inventory, and they ship it out. I don't know which one's the best. So if any of you have ever dealt with anything like that or know anything about that, let us know. I've seen one where you get to make your design through their website, but that's kind of not what we're looking to do. We wouldn't mind like using Fiverr to get a really good design made and then send it, and that be the case. So if anyone knows of any solutions there, can help us out in that way, just let us know. I would certainly appreciate it. You can email me or whatever. And that's all I got. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day. I don't know what time it is now, but I've been doing race car stuff all day. Look, there she is. There she is. There she is to come find out why I'm not inside. There she is. Oh, and Beckett's there. Look at Beckett. Look. Can you see Beckett? There's. Oh, Beckett. That's it. That's all I got. I love each and every single one of you. Thanks for watching this video. I'm gonna go hang out with them and look out for live streams and more videos to come this week. Love you. Bye.